Hi, it's lovely to be with you again. I don't know if you ever have a day when you wake up and you just feel a bit miserable, somewhat grumpy. Not always a particular reason for it. It's just one of those days where, as my mum used to put it, you get out of bed on the wrong side. I think just latterly we've had lots of reasons to feel life is a bit difficult. So it wouldn't be surprising if most of us, and I think everybody feels it at some time, feels a bit like this from time to time. Days when things just aren't quite what we want them to be, and we get a bit irritable with other people too if we're not careful. Well, I found a lovely verse in the Bible that gives us a challenge. It's a challenge, as the verse says, it's from 1 Thessalonians chapter 5 and verse 18, to give thanks in all circumstances, for this is God's will for you in Christ Jesus. Give thanks in all circumstances. This is God's will for you in Christ Jesus. What does it tell us to do? Well, first of all, it says to do something. Give thanks. That doesn't always come naturally. If I said to you now, what do you have to be thankful for? Some of you might sort of scratch your heads a little bit. Perhaps we remember back to maybe on a Thursday evening when you used to go outside and clap your hands and give thanks for the NHS, and you're still grateful for something like that. Or you have something more personal, like wanting to say thank you to mum or dad for looking after you, or maybe you've got a lovely pet dog or cat or something. You're so grateful to have a little friend to play with. Those sort of things come to mind, but sometimes it's a bit of a tricky thing to try and scratch our brains and find things to be thankful for. And that is what this verse encourages to do. Give thanks in all circumstances. When are we to give thanks? Well, that second bit gives us the clue. In all circumstances. Now, we've got to be a bit careful here. It's not saying give thanks for all circumstances. We're not being silly about this. We don't give thanks for things that are horrible. But perhaps it implies that however we sometimes feel, there are always things we can be thankful for. And that's perhaps the key to the verse. That's why it's a bit of an antidote for these grumpy days we have. We can give thanks in all circumstances. So even if I'm feeling miserable, there are lots of good things that are going on around me. There are lots of special people that matter to me. There are lots of special things I've enjoyed in life, which I can call to mind if I stop and think. And perhaps that's the key. The key to thankfulness is thinking. The key to thanking is thinking, you could put it. Now, that's important, I think. We tend to think that thankfulness only comes about when we're enjoying special things. But this verse implies we're to give thanks in all circumstances. So if that's what we're to do, give thanks, when we're to do it, in all circumstances, why are we to do it? Well, the verse says something extraordinary. It says, this is God's will for you in Christ Jesus. That's something very special about God. It's telling us that that's what he longs for us to be like. People who are thankful. People who stop and reflect and think about the good things in this world. People who have developed an attitude of gratitude. This is God's will. It's what God wants for us, thoughtful and thankful people. Let's say a prayer. Dear God, it's very easy for us to get caught up in the difficulties and problems we have, and the worries and concerns we have, which are very real, but so much so that we lose sight of the good things that you're doing. Please help us not to be thoughtless, but to be thoughtful, not to be selfish, but to be thankful, to develop that attitude of gratitude.